Hey, what's going on, Pseudo Widow Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good today. And something I feel like showing off. Well, bam, we got ourselves the chocolate bars here. Can't afford Pokemon cards. This economy's a little rough. Can't do it, and that's perfectly okay. I'm going to go into this right here. I got all 12 for under 12 bucks. We got Bulbasaur through Mew. Meowth was the last one I needed. Of course, Charizard's included, right? But Blastoise and Venusaur, let alone Scyther, never going to be included in the big bar club, right? But there are miniature bars. They did include Blastoise and Venusaur in that, as well as the Evolutions, everyone's favorite sliced bread thing, right? Everyone loves the Evolutions, and of course, I had to get put in there. But hey, you can try to stop me from collecting Pokemon. You can try. I'll still find a way to do so. The chocolate market is the market for me. Oh boy. Anyway, talking about videos though, man, the last video I put out 4 days ago, woo, what a doozy of a video that was. I talked about Frosted Caribou's untimely reappearance, reimagining into the Pokemon space, right? 10 months since she had made a video, decided to hop right back in. And what she talked about? The super generic take that Pokemon is boned. Pokemon is having a rough time right now. Prismatic Evolutions did something to this place. It's late. It really is kind of a weird video for her to put out at the same time. My main critique with this video is I feel like it's fake and it's coming from a grifter. That's my main critique. Now, I put out this video and I left it particularly vague for a reason. A lot of people had some criticism. That's okay. I left it vague to kind of paint the landscape of currently who is here. And I got exactly what I wanted. A bunch of fresh people that do not know anything about what happened 5 years ago, 4 years ago. And it's a recycled group of people that came here. Not everybody. There's definitely some people that remember the events of the past, but I did get a bunch of criticism from people that just genuinely didn't understand. And that's okay. That's fine. You're welcome to do so. And I don't blame anybody one bit that said this criticism seems weird. I don't know where this is coming from. You guys seem like you're on the same team. It's just, it feels off, and it's okay. I completely understand that because a lot of you guys don't know what's happening. You saw a video. You saw a very surface level video that's as wide as an ocean but as deep as a puddle. Literally nothing to the video. It's just wrapped kind of nice, has a good little bow on it, and there you go. That's it. Basically talking about all the super generic safe points that are being discussed in the Pokemon space. If you truly look at this video and you truly start analyzing a little bit, you'll kind of see how dumb it is. And if you know anything about her particularly, you're going to see a whole layer of hypocrisy start to expose itself, considering she has never answered for some of this stuff, by the way. So we're going to go into that. We're going to discuss this video. I'm going to actually lay out real criticisms for it. Probably going to do it over the course of 2 to 3 videos just because I'm a petty bitch. Anyway, let's roll the video. Let's actually give this a fair critique, and hopefully at the end of this, you'll scratch your head a little bit. You'll be like, I guess I kind of see that. I guess so. That's the ultimate goal. Let's roll it. Alright, so I'll lay out these criticisms pretty quickly. I'm just going to go through and lay out why I think this is kind of goofy, right? So the main thing about this whole thing is I think the timing for her putting out this video, the Pokemon community is in shambles, is extremely goofy. She is a commentator, actively still commentating in Pokemon. Here's proof of that right there. She posted it up.
I'm casting for the day, yo peep. That vintage Pokemon League badge. Oh my god.
Yoshiyuki Yamaguchi, world champion! Let's go! I'm rooting for you, Yoshi. That was epic.
Yeah.
And honestly, watching him play is always a pleasure as well.
Yeah, he's a very entertaining character for sure.
Talking about how Pokemon, in her current video, the one she put out 4 to 5 days ago, Pokemon Company is stifling her ability to talk about things in the Pokemon space. She can't stay true to her word, and she's got to go follow her own path. So she's retiring from Pokemon commentary. Not really too sure if she's 2 weeks from retirement, but still commentating for this Worlds or something. I'm not too sure. It just seems a little goofy that like she is leaving the Pokemon cushiness. They're not going to be paying for her anymore. She's not going to have a job with them. And she immediately slides right into the grift that is content. That was the biggest content she had done, where she can talk about how terrible Pokemon is and how terrible the Pokemon company is and how terrible the Pokemon creators are. And this whole place, it's not fun anymore for her. You know, while, you know, everyone else that was talking about it previously didn't leave and didn't stop making content. The goofy thing about her is she also states she loves making content. Check this out right here.
Years ago, I stepped back from YouTube. No dramatic goodbye, nothing like that, just kind of a slow fade. It's easy to just say, oh, you turn your hobby into a job. It's no longer fun. I knew that wasn't it deep down, because every time I did post a video, I would just get a rush of happiness and passion. And it wasn't because I was opening Pokemon cards, it was because I was creating something I had imagined and brought to life with my edits, the storytelling, the jokes, all of that. And that's how I knew it wasn't content creation. I hadn't just fallen out of love with it. It was something else that I was feeling.
You know, she just fell out of love with making Pokemon content. It just wasn't something that, it wasn't she loves making it. She gets an absolute rush creating Pokemon content for all this stuff, right? But she just fell, it's the mean old Pokemon space. Like, Prismatic Evolutions came out and I just couldn't make content anymore. Oh, woe is me, can't do nothing. It absolutely sucks, right? It's funny because before she put out this video a few days ago, her last YouTube video came out in September of 2024. Now, it was just a regular TCG online video where she was talking about decks that she wanted to build and play. Cool, all fun, right? But the big thing about that video is she was doing it in her house that was like completely like being revamped or something like that. Basically, the house was affected by the hurricane that happened last year. Her house was a victim of that, and she set up a GoFundMe in order to actually get some funds raised for the whole thing. Nothing against that. I'm very sorry that her house was affected by it. I'm very sorry she had to deal with that. That does suck. It is kind of funny, though, that she made sure to pop in at that time and make a video, you know, with her house in complete shambles. So she has the ability to make content, absolutely no problem. But she makes sure to come in there and in the description of that video, drop a short with her hurricane house update and make sure to say, hey, I need money from this place. I need people to help pay for my fucking house. Here it is, right? Once again, nothing wrong with that. It is funny, though, that she can very conveniently make content at this time, and then she doesn't make content again until she's very conveniently about to not be working for Pokemon anymore. Isn't that kind of weird? This person loves making content, but for some reason, I can't make content right now because of Pokemon, right? Speaking of this content for this whole thing, let's actually, like, start dissecting this video, right? Because it's really goofy. Just the amount of stuff that gets thrown into this video that actually has no warrant or no merit once you actually look and see that Frosted Caribou is very guilty of a lot of this stuff previously. Oh, a lot of you guys may not know, but she's been making content for a long time. She's been around for a good little bit, and the content that she used to make is not currently what she is preaching, but we'll get into that here in a second. So we're going to go to my favorite portion of this video, which I like to call,
"They're coming for your kids. The Pokemon YouTubers want your kids to be enticed by their goofy goody thumbnails.
They want to take your kids to the island based off of this." That's what I'm dubbing this section, because that's essentially what this video is. So we're going to go through that real quick, and we're going to watch what she posts up with that. Don't worry, more criticism and stuff will come, but this is my favorite portion, and it highlights the most hypocrisy I can actually pull out from her.
Your attention is the most valuable resource they can sell. Thumbnails are a gateway to that attention. A 2024 study published by the American Medical Association showed that thumbnails with attention-grabbing features.
This is a little bit of my favorite part of the video right here, because like it's her just being kind of coy, not really mentioning it. She never says problematic content out of her mouth, but she goes on this montage showing a bunch of people's thumbnails. We'll get to that here in a second. She says attention grabbing, and that's basically attention engaging, but she highlights specific things, and problematic content is highlighted on there a couple times. So she's basically highlighting that what's about to be shown could be classified by several people, in fact possibly her, with all the things that she's putting up, that this could be problematic content. But she never says that, but she highlights it right here. It's very clearly highlighted from this, but she never says it. It's just highlighted. Keep that in mind going forward, and keep that in mind for the rest of the video.
Are a gateway to that attention. A 2024 study published by the American Medical Association showed that thumbnails with attention-grabbing features are disproportionately recommended to kids. We only analyzed thumbnail content and did not watch full videos. However, this approach is important because in the current digital environment, recommendation grids and thumbnails represent decision points in which attention-captured designs shape children's subsequent media experiences.
Oh, so we're not actually looking at the content itself. We're just going based off the thumbnails. We're going based off thumbnail trends to make assumptions based off stuff. So we're judging things. Oh, I see now. We're just going through the whole judgeroo stuff, talking about what's going to affect your children. Once again, they're laying on that children part very hard. Keep that in mind.
In the current digital environment, recommendation grids and thumbnails represent decision points in which attention-captured designs shape children's subsequent media experiences. A child may conceptualize recommended videos as implicitly endorsed by the platform or aligned with the child's identity, which may influence the child's norms about video content. Over time, with repeated exposure to such content, cultivation theory posits that the child may start to internalize norms or attitudes that are presented in media. These cues also work on adults, but children are especially sensitive.
But children are especially sensitive.
But children are especially sensitive. We're getting there, guys. I keep pausing and keep laying that on because I'm letting you know, she's letting you guys know that they're coming for your kids. And everybody featured is a possible suspect that's coming for your kids and their attention on the YouTube space. Okay, this is coming from a content creator, and we're gonna break this down real quick. You know, I make fun of a lot of YouTuber thumbnails on here too, especially on the PokeTuber side, but it's jokes. I literally open up those videos by me saying like, oh, the master YouTube thumbnail maker, known as me, where I find the goofiest still of me possible on my video and throw it next up to what I'm talking about. She's dead serious. This is a dead serious point that's going to be coming, and some of the people that are featured just makes me fucking laugh because it's coming from her. Let's roll it.
In media. These cues also work on adults, but children are especially sensitive to things like bright or highly saturated colors, large text, and loud exclamations, faces with extreme facial expressions, big eyes, sometimes artificially created, conflict, any depiction of large amounts of currency, even if a negative value, displaying experiences that viewers might not get to have in their life, large unboxings,
Large unboxings, experiences that people might not actually get to experience themselves, susceptible to kids. That's fucking crazy, bro. Hey, let's check and see what you were doing whenever Champions Path came out. 1200 Champions Path pack opening. Whoa, have you ever apologized for this? Because this is kind of problematic. This might, lead kids down a path. They might see this thumbnail and it shows them experiences they might not experience in life. Hell, I didn't get this experience. I didn't get any of this. 1200 Champions Path packs, I think I've opened like 35, 40. Talk about an experience of a lifetime right here. Whoa, look at that. 1200 packs, mass openings. Oh, but this isn't on your page anymore because we don't want people to see this because this is bad and it doesn't really fit my narrative of what's going on. Sure, was this a different time? A little bit, but this was around the Logan Paul boom where packs were going for a little bit more, where fucking Battle Styles and Champions Path and fucking Shining Fates were going for more than MSRP, where people were actually buying stuff out, and Whatnot was incredibly popular at the time. People were selling these packs for like, what do you think, like $15, $20, $25 a pack in some cases on Whatnot? Very sought after set in a very unrealistic situation that people might not be able to get themselves. Crazy.
Big eyes, sometimes artificially created, conflict, any depiction of large amounts of currency, even if a negative value, displaying experiences that
dramatic music, whoa, making people afraid of stuff for Pokemon. It's fucking scary out there. Look at these guys, they're so bad. Look at Pat, look at Leonhardt, look at Rev, they fucking suck. Look at them, they're coming for your kids.
Kids who might not know that it's fake. And the repetition of these tactics is reinforced by the algorithm. Thumbnails with dramatic or urgent framing exploit the fear of missing out. People often click not because they intend to watch the full video, but because the thumbnail demands their attention. We see more compulsive clicking versus intentional viewing. The focus shifts from joy of the hobby to hype-driven consumption. Over-the-top framing is normalized as the only way to get attention, pressuring all other creators to escalate their visuals. And all of this blurs the line between genuine enthusiasm and manufactured urgency. And while most creators aren't doing this maliciously, we have to ask, if you're willing to lean in on these targeted tactics for your thumbnails, what's stopping the content itself from going the same way? If it hasn't already.
Oh, so we're going to acknowledge that some of these creators don't do this maliciously, but if they're willing to lean into these tactics, they must be. What else will you guys do? What else will you guys come for? Will you come for my kids? Are you going to come kick in the door and make them watch your content that brain rots and hypnotizes them into watching Pokemon stuff right here? You know, when I make thumbnails, let me pull up one of your beautiful thumbnails right here. Oh, buying and opening every Pokemon card, I'm imagining that's all packs from 5 stores. What is this over-exaggerated face up here? Throw that up real quick. Enhance on that face. Whoa. That's a little crazy, don't you think? That's a bit of a thumbnail face right there. That's a little bit of the Mr. Beastificate. Mr. Beast! You literally look like you're about to say Mr. Beast right there. Look at that face. Exaggerate. All packs from 5 stores. Oh, it was a different time, Opossum. Oh, well, people that actually feel that way probably don't just learn that whenever, you know, the boom happens or something. They probably shared packs with people consistently. That was a moral they held inside themselves, right? This isn't something they just learned whenever, like, something got a little rough, right? It didn't make them change their content. Yeah, this is the kind of content she'd be making if she could afford to do it. You know how I know she can't afford to make this content? Because she couldn't afford to get her house fixed. Nothing wrong with that, but she couldn't afford to make this kind of content, buying out fucking stores and opening 1,200 packs of a set. That's crazy. But malicious content creators. And speaking of people that might not be being malicious, we're gonna roll that video back real quick because there's a person that got shown on there that I find very funny that they got put on there multiple times, as a matter of fact. But, you know, this is a malicious, they're coming for your kids montage of how bad and crappy their thumbnails are. Disregarding their content, because their content, that's not what we're talking about here. It's cool. No, we're going to watch this back real quick, and I'm going to show you a specific creator that was shown.
The child may start to internalize norms or attitudes that are presented in media. These cues also work on adults, but children are especially sensitive to things like bright or highly saturated colors.
Bright or highly there he is, right there, front and center. We got Real Breaking Nate, the devil that is the Pokemon content creator. Look at him. Look at all that color saturation. Look, Umbreon front and center, because look at that. Of course, Umbreon's front and center. Look at him smiling, his big, over-exaggerated face. Mr. Beast! Look at his teeth. Look at what's going on here. It's so colorful. All those packs in the background. Evolving Skies, Gym Mint, Prismatic Evolutions. Man, what a hype beast Real Breaking Nate is. He must make terrible content that is awful for kids, and he must be all about opening as much content as possible. Just that all the product needs to be open. He's just massively over. He's the exact same as everybody else that was shown here. That's real crazy. Hey, let's go check out this video real quick to actually see what it is, because oh, I opened every evolution Pokemon card. Oh, that's a hype video if I've ever seen one, big dog. Ooh, you're fucked now, Real Breaking Nate. Let's see what type of terrible content you make.
If we opened up every evolution set ever created.
I love that idea.
Today we're doing exactly that. We got Evolving Skies, we got the Gym Pack Volume 2, and of course everybody's favorite set that you always pull things from, Prismatic Evolutions.
Oh man, he actually just looks like that. He actually smiles really big, and his teeth are like that, and his eyes are just naturally big, and he just has that blue hat that he's wearing, and he has a bunch of Pokemon stuff in the background. Yeah, Pokemon stuff in the background to make things nice and colorful. That looks really familiar, but we're gonna throw shade at Real Breaking Nate for stuff like that. Oh, what a monster he is. Look at that. Smiling really big and making this type of content. He's a monster. Opening one of each product. One Evolving Skies, one Prismatic Evolutions, and one Gym box. That's crazy, right? Like, what a monster he is right here. Let's keep going. I want to see where this satanic content goes.
Okay. All right, Breaking Family.
No, wait. We can't do it. We can't just jump into the Pokemon card opening. We're not
You
even.
always jump into the card.
We're not even wearing the proper clothes.
What's wrong with my clothes?
Time to change. Hey, there we go. Much better. Which evolution will get pulled the most and make it to the Pokemon Center first? What is up, Breaking Family? Send in some positive vibes in your direction.
Oh, we're gonna open 3 boxes of stuff, and we're gonna compete against each other to pull evolutions no matter what rarity, and whichever one wins, there's gonna be a little separate tracker for that. Oh, Evil Psyduck has some evolvings. I think there's 6 packs on his head right there. That's some crazy stuff right there that's causing the Pokemon space to completely crumble on its head. Oh, that's crazy. We're talking about, like, really bad thumbnails that are overly saturated. We want to throw Nate in there for that whole thing. Hey, where's Max Mofo in this little compilation? I mean, he uses bright colors. He uses a bunch of crazy expressions. He does all that stuff to make his content just really pop, so people will click on that. Oh, but we like Max Mofo. Look, I'm Max Mofo's #1 defender. I love and I miss that man 100%. But it's kind of crazy that we're going to throw up Real Breaking Nate, making basically just like really good, wholehearted content, not really pumping anything or anything like that. and we're just gonna leave out Max Mofo, who makes like some of the most egregious, most eye-catching, most ridiculous thumbnails in the Pokemon space, because like, oh, we're just gonna do that. Oh, I wasn't looking for old thumbnails, I'm looking, oh, well, why not? This is an ongoing trend, right? This is the Pokemon space marching towards death, right? Why would we not show old thumbnails of that doing it? Max Mofo is the author of the bad PokeTuber thumbnail. Oh man, no, but we like him. We don't like Nate for some reason. That's really funny to me. You know what's particularly funny about this snake actually stabbing Nate in the back and throwing him to the wolves is, remember that GoFundMe I was talking about? Remember that little incident where, you know, Frosted Caribou needed this community more than anything? She really needed people, and she absolutely needed some money here. She made sure specifically to come back to let people know, hey, I got this going on, I'm gonna make a video, but hey, check out my short where I'm talking about my hurricane ravaged house. Once again, I'm sorry to hear about that. The GoFundMe, sure, whatever, all that stuff too. Popped in for that. Hey, you know who donated to said fucking GoFundMe? Real Breaking Nate, sending you nothing but love and positive vibes. You're just gonna fucking be like, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, this dude's making thumbnails that goes after your children. Look at this guy right here. And she brought up a lot. Hey, throw it up again. Throw it up one more time.
A child may conceptualize recommended videos as implicitly endorsed by the platform or aligned with the child's identity, which may influence the child's norms about video content. Over time, with repeated exposure to such content, cultivation theory posits that the child may start to internalize norms or attitudes that are presented in media. These cues also work on adults, but children are especially sensitive.
But children are especially sensitive.
To things like bright or highly saturated colors.
To things like bright or highly saturated colors.
To things like bright or highly saturated colors.
Front and center, coming for your kids. What a nice, good person this is, and people that are friends with this person, friends with Frosted Caribou, yeah, I'd watch your back, because like apparently doesn't matter if, like, you know, he donates or they're nice to you. Hey, they're gonna twist the content you make, and they're gonna look at your satanic thumbnails and they're gonna say that you are a problem for the space. You're contributing to the badness that is Pokemon in a video that clearly acknowledges investor bros and the people that are doing these massive, terrible things that are happening in the Pokemon space. All the scalpers, all the fights, all the different stuff that you had no interest in covering that everybody else did. No, we're going to talk about thumbnails, and we're going to completely disregard that thumbnails are not an accurate representation sometimes of what people's actual videos are. And you would never make a bad, deceitful thumbnail in order to make people want to come watch your channel, would you? You'd never use effects. You'd never use color saturation. I'm going to send this into Pokemon. My box is defective. It's not glowing. It's not. Oh, but you know, Frosted must have a really good box. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. I've got plenty more to say, plenty more goofiness to go around, but we're gonna spread this out because once again, I'm petty. Have a good one, Virgin Gang. See you later. We're gonna milk this. If everyone else can milk the Pokemon community where they feel like, whenever Pokemon's done paying them and they want to slide back in here and milk this place, I'll milk it a little bit too. Fucking Nate's the problem here. If Nate's the problem, then like Boo is like the mega problem. She is the huger problem. Our first grifter just walking in this place and pretending this crazy stuff. I know I won't convince everybody, but it'll make you think, right?